the podcast Under the Stairs on this week's episode of Horror Hole. I'm Wyatt, and who is here with me today, as always?
And I'm the Secretary of Pussy, Cody Briscoe.
Okay, we are here to talk about a movie written and directed by Wes Craven himself, baby. It's The People Under the Stairs. I did not know what to expect going into this movie.
Me neither.
So this pretty much from the moment it began, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. And then as it kept going, it just kept being really fucking weird. And then
into madness.
Yeah, there's a point where it's like kind of comes to a conclusion, but then the kid's like, no, I have to go back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? There's 40 minutes left of the movie. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it, but just very funny, like how this movie just kept going and how it kept escalating.
Mm-hmm.
This is, yeah, it's fucking nuts. Like, what is your like first thoughts after watching it?
So I picked this one for the bit of us talking about every Wes Craven movie except for Scream. But I also picked it because I knew that it starred two of my favorite actors from Twin Peaks, and I thought it was cool that they got to star in a movie together. So I was excited to see them, and they did not fucking disappoint. This movie,
no,
one of the most insane, enjoyable movies. I totally get why it's like a cult classic movie.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that this movie has like flown under the radar for me for so long.
Mm-hmm. I've known about it.
Never really hear people. Yeah.
Like I've known about it, but I just, again, like you said, I could have never predicted what the actual plot of this movie is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for some reason, like 90s horror movies, just like they just don't have enough of a like strong cultural sticking point, or maybe that not because they're bad or anything, but for some, I mean, people just obsessed with the fucking 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even stuff like Fright Night, which is not like the most well known, was one that I was like, oh yeah, I know that. I'm glad that I finally got to watch that for this podcast, etc. Like this, and even like I Know What You Did Last Summer, like that was one where it's like, I kind of know this, but nobody really talks about it, and it was kind of bad.
Yeah. People seem to like it for some reason. There's really not, I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of great stuff in the 90s, but like besides Scream, the only really big ones that you can think of are like Candyman, Leprechaun, technically, if you want to count that. Final Destination, like it's kind of,
Yeah, I feel like there's a real resurgence in like the early 2000s with horror.
So when like the remakes all started happening.
Yeah, and then you get stuff like Saw, that's around that time. So that starts to like kick off like kind of grittier, more fucked up horror. I guess like I guess Jacob's Ladder is like technically a 90s movie, even though it was written in like the 70s. Yeah. And like it takes place during that time period. That's one that was like produced in the 90s. So it has like, that's probably the most, besides like Scream or whatever, is probably like the most well-known or influential horror movie of that decade.
Yeah, I'm looking at our list of episodes, and it's really like we haven't really covered much 90s.
So here we are, People Under the Stairs. I am looking at the poster for the movie is extremely generic. It's just a house, and then there's a skull above the house.
Yeah.
So you just want to imply that there's death will happen in this house. Just put a skeleton on the movie poster.
And boy, I guess let's talk about the basic plot, because this movie really has a simple setup, and then they just kind of let it breathe for an hour and 40 minutes. So there's we meet this kid named Fool. Poindexter is his real name. He's like living in the projects with his sick mom and his sister. Who, quick aside, the sister, if she looked familiar, she was in Elm Street Part 5. She was one of Alice's friends, and she does actually survive that movie. So good for her.
Yeah.
So there's the older sister Ruby. She's dating this guy Leroy, who I really really liked. He was he was a scumbag, but I don't know. I just found his character to be really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Uh, so the family is broke. They need money. They're being evicted. Mom's sick. So uh, Leroy recruits Fool to help him break into this house, which we find out belongs to their landlord. And
Hmm.
the landlord is somebody who's been like hoarding money from the neighborhood. And
Yeah.
it's oh my god, what is his name? Everett McGill, who played
Hmm.
Big Ed on Twin Peaks, and
Yeah.
I can't remember the actress's name, but she plays his wife Nadine. And
It's Wendy Roby.
oh, right.
So.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so the whole movie is basically just a cat and mouse game between Fool as he like goes through the house and learns more about it, and just interspersed with just bits of pure insanity from. We never
Hmm.
even get the characters' names. They're just credited as like the man and the woman. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna call them Ed and Nadine for the episode.
Right. Yeah. 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 The dad is like, very like, I don't know. They kind of fit this like conservative stereotype for sure. And the movie is definitely like talking about like some racism, like because I mean they are just straight up racist,
Yeah.
but like specifically because like, oh, the main characters, they're living in the projects. That, the villains of the movie are these landlords that are not only like immoral in that they're hoarding all this money and not using it to repair their properties, but they are literally like kidnapping children and doing all these horrible fucked up things. They have like a whole dynasty of like incest behind them.
Hmm.
Um yeah, it's just like comedically fucked up just examples of
Yeah. The
sort of these like capitalist white people that are like, crushing like black people in the underclass like under their boot heel. So which is like a pretty interesting thing to put into a kind of a very campy movie, I would say. Like, I wouldn't straight up like Wiki describes it as comedy horror. I wouldn't necessarily
I
call it
would
like a straight up
yeah,
comedy,
I wouldn't have it.
but it is like very campy. So I
Hmm.
think that that's like a line. It's like how people say that Evil Dead 2, like that's a comedy, or it's I don't really agree with that. I just think it's a little bit more like ridiculous and over the top than the first one.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't take itself quite as seriously. And then I would say like Army of Darkness is the first one that's a real
Oh yeah.
comedy before being a
I mean,
horror.
that's a Three Stooges movie at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, and I feel like a lot of that social commentary reminded me of some of the stuff we talked about with Little Shop of Horrors about like just
Mm-hmm.
the lower class struggling to like that's the main character's entire motivation is he needs money for his family. It's
Yeah.
just really cool where it's a movie about somebody who's breaking into another person's house and like never once does it even hint at like you are just the whole time meant to be like I'm gonna fucking break this house. Fuck these people, just do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like Leroy is kind of put into this position of like he's being a little bit manipulative or being a little bit like pushy on this kid of being like, come on, help me with this. Not necessarily because he's like a scumbag only interested in himself, but like he has less moral scruples, and he knows that this kid and this family are suffering because they are more moral.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no, just in this case, those guys, they are the thieves. They're stealing from us. Let's,
Yep.
take back some of our
He
money.
even tells him like you should appreciate it. I'm teaching you a trade. Is what he says. Great
Hmm.
line.
Yeah, it's like a very interesting, especially like at the, like towards the end of the movie when, like Fool comes back and he has the gold coins.
Hmm.
It isn't ever a thing of like, I have to return them to the right. It was wrong. I got this money in the wrong way. No, he gives it to his like grandpa,
Hmm.
and he's immediately like, "Damn, you can pay your rent off for like 10 years, and also like get the surgery to help your mom."
Hmm.
That's just like it's such an interesting thing because not only is it like yeah, maybe that's too convenient for the plot that all of their problems can be solved by this, but it's also kind of literally true
Yeah.
for a lot of people that the reason that they are like sick or dispossessed is just price gouging and these
Hmm.
like predatory practices from like landlords and
Yeah.
gentrification and all that
Um,
stuff. Like jacking up prices in the area,
And like,
and then trying to like kick them out and pave over their homes with a new, fancier place.
and like when you see the building they live in, it's insane. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how accurate it is. They could have shot it just I know like with Candyman, but like he's was just
Mhm.
walking through this lobby and there's just people leaning against the wall just shooting up heroin in a row.
Right. Yeah, just like a lot of like it's a very like well, if it is a set, it's a very well constructed
Well,
set.
speaking
Just like the
speaking of well
house.
constructed sets, this
Yeah.
house is insanity. It's like
Yeah.
it's it's part of it is like a ride. It's like a fun house. Um,
Yeah.
like every single little nook and cranny has some kind of hidden door or passageway. It's a really cool
Hmm.
space. It'd be very fun to run
Yeah.
around in as a kid.
This is like I just got maybe it's because I'm playing through Resident Evil Requiem, but I got huge like oh this is like Resident Evil 7 where you're like in a big house. There's these weird freakish cannibal people that are
Mhm.
hunting you down. One guy in like a gimp suit that's hunting you down, which is like a that's a
Mhm.
crazy villain costume for him to have
Yeah,
on.
which
Um,
I do gotta say, I've always thought Everett McGill was pretty handsome, so I wasn't complaining. That
mhm.
was, good for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and then what is it like? Yeah, there's all the like
dog.
the mutant children underneath. Yeah, the dog is very adorable because it's what is it, a
It's a
Doberman or
Rottweiler.
a Rottweiler? Yeah, yeah, that's that.
It just like
Then there's big
it,
dummies, they get big old heads,
yeah, no, it's one of those Rottweilers where it's like their scruff on under their throat is like really beefy, so you just want to.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the like oh this is an attack dog or this is a defense dog. They're all so cute. Like pit bulls are just so adorable
Mhm.
to me. Like it's impossible for me to like see them as scary. I feel like the only dogs that I see as scary are like I don't know, like maybe not scary, but like huskies are weird because they look so freaky. Like they have like the weird
I don't like
eyes, so they look
those super Afghans that have like human hair,
yeah.
like Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so let's see. So the basic setup for the house is like they're kidnapping children, and once they misbehave, they mutilate them and they lock them in with this group of cannibals in the basement. They have
Mm-hmm.
one kid there that's a girl named Alice, who's you really feel
Mm-hmm.
bad for this freaking character. Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
just the so much of this movie is just that girl Alice just being shouted at and treated miserably. Like there's a scene where she
Mm.
has to clean up Leroy's blood, and she just Nadine just pushes her and she slips in the blood. It's so
Yeah.
dark.
Fuck. Yeah. There's like it's later she like is like thrown into like a hot bathtub
Oh
and then
yeah.
the water is like clearly like way too hot.
Mhm.
And I'm like, God damn.
It,
I know that because the hot water in my sink in my kitchen is so fucking hot that if I fill it up to do dishes, I have to wait like 40 minutes before I can stick my hands in the
yeah.
water to wash the dishes. So,
No, it's I don't know, and I don't again I don't think Wes Craven was inspired by it. There are like real world true crime cases that this movie did kind of remind me of. Like,
mm,
I'm not going to go into detail about it, but there's a case called about a girl named Sylvia Likens that I don't know.
mm,
I just it made me think of that.
yeah, for sure. Like I think that definitely I don't know, it feels like that's right for the 90s too. This is kind of a,
A lot of his movies
you
are
know.
inspired by real world crime cases, like Elm Street was, The Hills Have Eyes was. I'm sure the
Mm,
I don't know if The Last House on the Left was, but I wouldn't be surprised at all.
yeah. And also like the character being named Alice that that immediately like brings to mind like Alice in Wonderland,
Yeah.
as in like movie has kind of a very almost like a storybook feel to it. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like very dreamlike, which I guess makes sense because the Twin Peaks connection with the
Mhm.
those two characters. But yeah, it's just like from the very beginning it begins with like Fool's sister. First of all, the character's name is Fool, and
Yeah.
they connect him to the Fool Tarot, which is, I don't fucking know anything about tarot readings, so I can't analyze that. but yeah, I just know there's like that is an element in it. There's like the camp factor, the like surrealness of what's going on. You have like this. Alice very much is like a kind of a kidnapped princess, kind of both like she's very like Rapunzel esque, like
Hmm.
a girl that was like kidnapped and then put in a
We even
tower,
see her an
etc.
open window, like on
Hmm.
the top of the house.
Yeah. So and then like Fool ends up being like kind of taking the form of a hero that is coming in,
Mhm.
and he goes in for like this very selfish reason, but it was selfish and selfless, but he goes in for a self-serving reason, I
Yeah.
guess, and then ends up like having to go back in the third act in order to, he feels like indebted to this girl. He wants to save her
Hmm.
and knows that she's in trouble, which is like, yeah, it makes him a very likable protagonist. That's what I think is very interesting about this movie, is that
Hmm.
there's not a ton of horror movies that have like a 10-year-old kid as the
like
protagonist,
like a Child's Play 2, I guess.
Mm, yeah.
There is one, I think I might have mentioned this to you, called Death Valley, which is a slasher movie set in the
Mm.
desert, and the lead is a 10-year-old kid, and it's the kid who played Ralphie in Christmas Story.
Okay,
So,
cool. That's good. But yeah, he's just a very charismatic kid,
hmm.
and it's just very like it's very sweet to see him, interact with and like saving Alice and everything. And it's also very you're also just scared because like he kind of knows that the parents are, not only are they insane people, but they're probably very racist,
Yeah.
and which is like a sad thing that a kid that young has to like be aware of the world to that extent.
Hmm.
um and they even are like overly concerned about him like making love to her, which of course never happens.
Yeah.
But it's just like they're like they're insane, and they just put these like ridiculous standards onto him.
Hmm. Well,
um
yeah, I'm on to everybody. Like Alice has like
yeah.
the three monkeys. This evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. And there's
Hmm.
in her bedroom, I noticed there on the wall. There's a big embroidered sign that just says "Children should be seen and not heard."
Right. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff there. uh but yeah, did you like, I will say this, I don't think I found the movie like super scary. Did you? Was there anything about it that like really like got under your skin? Because
Um,
like I didn't really find like the mutant
no, they were not scary at all.
children under. Yeah, like I didn't find like there's some shots where like the mask or the prosthetics on the kid like looked kind of weird and fucked up, and that was kind of creepy. But it wasn't like I don't know. It didn't.
It was
The atmosphere wasn't like scary. It was more like it was aesthetically horror than it was actually like horrific.
yeah,
If that makes
it was.
any.
There were definitely scenes that were tense, but yeah, I was never like like this. You could easily remake this movie and have a much darker tone and have it be pretty scary, I think. Um,
Yeah,
but then
it's like the opposite of what I was talking about before we were recording with Under the Dome, where I was like, that's not a horror book, but the situation is horrific. Like,
mhm,
it's just so hopeless and desperate that like it elicits that same like fear response of like, fuck, what the
yeah,
fuck, holy shit, they have to get out of this situation now. Whereas like this is like the opposite, where it's it's I wouldn't dare compare it necessarily to like Ernest Scared Silly or whatever the hell, or Goosebumps
scared
or something
stupid.
like that. But it's yes, but it's not too far from that in the sense that it's just like it's more spooky,
No, and
or like
you could
ooh, it's a haunted house rather than it being like
like
super
my
scary.
one of my nieces could probably watch this movie and be fine.
Yeah.
But there is it's just a very well made movie. A lot of little details that I took notes about, like one
Hmm.
of the people, the troglodytes in the basement, has like a TV facing his cell wall or whatever, and Fool
Hmm.
like moves it, and it's footage of like the very start of the Gulf War, and
Yeah.
It's like this guy is just watching it on loop in this cage. It's like, okay, what is that about?
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
Back to you'd mentioned the tarot card stuff. I took a note, and I thought this would come back, but it kind of didn't really. Is she says that the fool
Hmm.
has to walk through the sun and come out of heaven. So I thought, like, I guess the closest you could say would be he does like cause an explosion. It's like
Right.
the mechanics of this explosion kind of don't make any sense the way it works.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. The fact that it didn't incinerate the money, instead it like blew it all into
mhm.
the air so that all the people can catch it. That's a nitpick,
Well,
obviously,
yeah,
but you know.
and just like I thought there was like there's dynamite all throughout the house. It seems to go off all of it, but it doesn't destroy the house. It just like pushes the money further up the chimney, basically. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about
But yeah, the
our MVP of the movie, Roach, who uh,
right.
Fool and Alice could not have survived this movie without. Uh,
Hmm.
Good performance by that actor. He was off-putting, but still like likable and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I don't know, the whatever, like yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean to like shit on him or anything, but it's just like yeah, he's just like a weird freaky guy, you know.
He
That's the with the I think, well, that's good imagery too, the tongue being cut
Yeah,
out,
and it's
you
still
know,
like
like that's
rotted and black on the front. It's gross.
yeah. But yeah, it was just it's one of those very like like when he's first introduced, I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, there's somebody in the wall,
Mhm.
and then I started to be like, okay, people under the stairs, like there's okay, there's weird people living in the house. But yeah, like this kid like helping them out, and then
I, I
you know,
I feel like you never the
mm,
whole time watching this movie get a sense of what the actual layout of the house is. Uh,
yeah, you need a map. You need a map like in a
no,
Resident
you
Evil
need
game. Like you need to
you need one of the fucking Star Trek technical manuals like they have for the Enterprise.
right. But yeah, I would say that I was very sad that the Rottweiler got killed.
Hmm. I do like
That's
very clever way
mm,
of killing it. Yeah, it was sad, but they said they'll get another dog soon, so there'll be another
okay.
pooch in their life.
I know. Oh, I'm looking at the wiki page for Rottweilers right now, and that's a really good. He's just a really happy guy. You know, the image is titled "Rottweiler standing facing left," so I really
This,
like how specific the image names are on Wikipedia.
I guess
So I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Prince, the dog in People Under the Stairs, was played by two dogs that are named Brutus and Bubba. So,
Ooh, okay. Those are good fucking names for a dog. Naming a dog Brutus, that's just like a recipe to make like the biggest baby, and the like the cutest dog of all time is named Brutus.
I'm trying to see if they have did it in any other movies before.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Like looking at it, Ving Rhames, who is Leroy,
Hmm.
and of course, I know Ving Rhames in general from like Pulp Fiction and like Lilo
Hmm.
and Stitch
I have a Ving
are
Rhames
probably
story.
like the yeah. Was it? What are you gonna say?
I said I have a Ving Rhames story, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying that he's apparently in Jacob's Ladder, which I don't remember like him
What the hell
appearing,
was
but
he in
that's
Jacob's Ladder?
I don't know. It just says that he's here. Let me look real
Was he
quick
one of the guys
and
shaking his
see.
head really fast?
He might have been one of the just like one of the army people, like that's like in the like second half of the movie or whatever, where they're putting together this conspiracy of what's going on.
Oh, I remember him.
Um,
I just have a picture of him.
yeah.
Um,
Uh, but uh, but yeah. So that's like, oh, that's cool that like I just mentioned Jacob's Ladder
mhm.
earlier as like one of the only '90s movies that had like was a huge cultural touchstone, or at least like influential on horror going forward. And
Mhm.
what do you know? Ving Rhames was in. I guess he would. That was like the kind of stuff oh, excuse me, that he was like doing at that
Hmm.
time was kind of like, he was in Jacob's Ladder, he was in People Under the Stairs, Pulp Fiction. He's kind of in these like more campy or like horror pulpy
Hmm.
movies. So,
Well,
but yeah, please
speaking of
tell me about your story.
speaking of Ving Rhames and dogs, well, my older brother actually used to breed dogs. He doesn't do it anymore,
I,
but he
yeah.
he bred English bulldogs, and I guess he was really good at it because at one point he ended up selling a dog to Ving Rhames.
Ooh, okay. And he's like rich enough, I presume, to be able to pay $2,000 or whatever
Yeah,
it costs to,
at least 2K.
get that shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, my parents, they recently got a dog, basically for free because one of our cousins was a dog breeder, and she was breeding Australian shepherds,
Oh.
and this was like a couple months after Buffy passed away.
Hmm.
Who is there? She was our longtime dog. She was like 15 years old,
Hmm.
which is pretty old for a dog.
Such a diva.
I know. Rest in beast, Buffy. But but yeah. So the not the replacement dog, but the next dog that they got, named Boop after Betty Boop,
That's good.
was yeah, the Australian Shepherd that they were like, yeah, we probably would have had to pay a couple $1,000 to get this dog
Hmm.
if we didn't have a cousin who did that herself. So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she was. Here's the thing, I don't know much about her professional or financial life or whatever she's doing. It has to be like a pyramid scheme thing that she's a part of. That she, why would she be? Why did she, this is the first time I've ever heard that she was into dog breeding? You know, she's the exact demographic of person that would get caught into a multi-level marketing scheme.
Very Peggy Hill.
Yes.
Mm.
So, like, very Peggy Hill, just white Christian woman, just like getting thrown into this thing. So it's like, that's the that I didn't even question it, but whatever. They got a new dog from that. I think she's probably like turning a year old soon because I think that
Ooh.
they got her like maybe like a couple months from now she'll be a
Send
year
uh
old.
send
But
some pics if you get a chance.
I well, my parents do send me pics
Hmm.
sometimes, so of that. Now that my brother's had a baby, he's been sending me pics of that baby all the time. So,
Hmm.
that's the, a lot of pics of this. And every time I look at the baby, I'm just like, that baby really does look like me, unfortunately. So, which I'm not saying like I fucked his wife
Oh
or
my
anything.
God.
I'm just saying that we both look the same,
Hmm.
me and my brother, even though we're not twins. Everybody thought we were twins the entire time we went through school. They were like, we're positive that you're twins, and Wyatt was just held back a year.
Oh my God.
That was the
I mean,
the
I'm gonna start
narrative.
spreading that rumor now.
Yeah. But yeah, just like look, every time I see a picture of that baby, I'm like, that really just because I've seen a lot of my own baby pictures, and then again, all you can just say all like chubby white babies just kind of look the same, so maybe that's why.
Mhm.
But I don't know. There's something in there.
Well, I think we might. I guess we're about done. Do you have anything else to add about the people under the stairs?
I do think that like the climax is pretty good, which is
Oh, the
you know
neighborhood showing
the
up.
yeah, and
Hmm.
then also like the dad gets killed, or the dad is like having a face off or whatever with Fool, and then the mom with Alice,
Oh
and she ends
my
up
God,
like,
we got to talk
mm,
about the one of the craziest shots in the movie when
what's that?
when Ruby is talking to the mom at the door. Alice out of nowhere
Mm,
drops from the fucking ceiling and lands on top of her.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
something about the framing. It reminded me of like the part in Exorcist 3 where the lady gets her head in the it's like scissors and like she pulls it right as
mm,
the movie's closed.
yeah. Oh man, we gotta watch that movie at some point.
There's a new one
Uh,
coming out, so
Dear God. Well, also have to watch the original Exorcist at some point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that would be one of my next picks. I actually don't know what I want to do for next movie, so maybe the Exorcist. Maybe we should just do that. Actually, so maybe we should just do the Exorcist for the next movie. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, the I really liked that like final showdown and everything. That also did remind me a bit of Hellraiser with like fighting on the stairs, and like for some reason like just fighting like this crazy bitch on the stairs, and then like stabbing with the knife and everything, and then like all the cannibals like rolling up on her, and yeah, that was just like I feel like that's a good karmic finale. I was also reminded of like Weapons, of course.
Yeah.
With the idea of like,
all these kid victims getting their revenge.
Yeah. Yes. And that's the thing. Like this movie, just has like a straight up happy ending to it. It's not even like ambiguous at all. It's just they save the day and money is redistributed to all the poor people, and these people. Yes, yeah. The bad people are dead and their house is fucked up. So it's just like, I don't know. It's a very
and the mutant cannibals are now also free to just roam around.
Right, which would be like, I'm sure in the ghetto they are like, yeah, just let those guys chill. We're not gonna question too much where they came from or what they're doing, but they're hanging out.
Yeah.
So just everybody be cool around them. There's people that are like that. We're all built different.
Don't spill wing sauce on your arm where you might lose it. But...
Yeah, but yeah, they're just like, it's a very it ends in a way, like I said, I guess I could compare it to something like what the fuck is that shitty ass movie we were talking about earlier? I Know What You Did Last Summer, where it has like kind of a like ridiculous over the top sequence of events that happen, and then this like cartoonish ending that ends with a really stupid cliffhanger though. But
sequel hook.
We're not even we're not gonna get into that. Whereas like this again, it just ends on like kind of a happy note, and yeah, I just wanted to appreciate that as far as that goes.
I wonder if they ever tried to remake it.
People Under the Stairs. I don't know. It doesn't look like, as far as the remake Impossible television series. Craven at one point said he would like to remake the film along with Last House on the Left. And shocker, however, after the release of the 2009 remake of Last House on the Left, the remake fell dormant until 2015. When it was announced shortly before Craven's death that the director was developing People Under the Stairs TV series for Sci-Fi. Okay, that's... I mean...
I guess Jordan Peele's trying to remake it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. The Sci-Fi, is there that much on Sci-Fi? Like...
Channel Zero is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Channel Zero is the only thing I can really think of.
Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
I mean, for me,
or whatever the fuck it was called.
I watched a shit ton of Sci-Fi as a kid, for sure. That's how I got into Gurren Lagann, because they would play anime at night.
Oh.
And they played that like 2007 or whatever. And also there was a couple other like Gundam 00 and some other, which is weird that's on Sci-Fi, but whatever. And also like Mystery Science Theater.
That's right.
I think was airing it on Sci-Fi like back when I was introduced to it, which was probably like the last couple seasons of the Mike era, when it was like airing on TV. And
the first Mike era, he's coming back.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I just want the show to not be filmed entirely in front of a green screen like it has been recently.
Yeah. And
if anything, I'm more excited.
I feel like
getting Forrester and TV Sprank back, because I hope that means that Forrester is going to also go back to voicing Crow, because he's the best Crow voice.
Yes. Yeah. It's weird that.
Also,
I don't know. They are really old. Uh, I know that TV's Frank has been lib posting on like Blue Sky for like the past couple of years, but that's fine. I don't know what's going on with Trace Ballou, but he seems like a cool guy, and like you said, he is the best. I love Dr. Forrester. I love his voice for Crow. So
maybe even fingers crossed we might even get Pearl back.
That would be great. I think is Joel Hodgson, is he just too he just doesn't care? He's just too old. I know that was kind of the rationale for the Netflix season.
Yeah,
is that
I think there might have been some kind of merger to where now MST3K and Rift Tracks are now one entity or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is sad to me that Rift Tracks has always been way more popular than the stuff that Joel was doing, because I do like both of. Here we are talking about Mystery Science Theater, no. but I'm just saying I like whatever cinematic Titanic or whatever the hell. There's some I've seen a couple of them because they'll play the episodes sometimes on the MST3K stream, which is a very good to go to sleep to. By the way, it's just a perfect. Be what thing am I gonna put on the TV before going to bed? There's always a 24/7 stream of MST3K episodes. So, all right, I can watch whatever stupid ass movie, The Day the Earth Froze or something.
Or if you're subscribed to Tokushoutsu, there's 90 current ongoing live streams all at once of every.
That's true. Yeah. That's why I unsubscribed to Tokushoutsu, because I was sick of all right, I do not need the Ginga Man, live stream, and the Go 5 live stream, and the Time Ranger live stream, and the Kamen Rider Ryuki and Geats and whatever, constantly going. But yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I have faith in that. I'm always down for more stuff from MS3K. But anyway, yeah, I think that we're done. I can't really think of anything else it's kind of a shorter episode too. But that's fine.
40 minutes. That's about average.
Yeah. So, all right. I think next episode we will just do The Exorcist.
All right.
I think that because I just read the book a month ago, and it's fresh enough on my mind that I'd like to watch the movie and compare and contrast some things. Because when I was reading the book, I am very familiar with the movie, and I was seeing some differences. But it's also been a couple years since I watched it, and more so, I really just want to get around to watching the second and third movie. So that's mostly why the third movie, I really want to watch. I was debating reading the book Legion, which is what the third movie is based on, but I figured I might as well watch the movie first because, I kind of wanted to for a long time. So,
well,
but all right.
Looking forward to it. I'll need to see that I don't like which cut that I'm going to get, because there's 3 or 4 different versions, I think.
Oh yeah. What one do you want? Because we didn't really decide on one with Little Shop of Horrors. I'm fine with either. I don't really have any strong opinions.
Yeah, we can just talk
either
about
way.
whatever differences, if there are any, between versions we watch.
Yeah, I do think that it's interesting. There are some people that do think the spider walk scene, that's too ridiculous. But that is from the book, which I was surprised by when I was reading it.
Yeah,
and so yeah, I don't know. Whatever's on HBO Max, I guess if it's on there or something. I do have the DVD though from back when those old Warner Brother DVDs that were cardboard and then had a plastic tab on the front to clip it into place. Yeah. But all the way back from 2004 or whatever, when I bought it at a thrift store.
I think my copy of the Tim Curry It is in one of those.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember having that as well. I always like the cover being there's Pennywise, it's just him. He's sticking his head out. What a nice gentleman.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Here we are going on a million tangents, but Welcome to Derry is getting a Blu-ray release, which I was actually kind of surprised by.
I did not see that.
A modern TV show I'm just so cynical about like modern television. It's like, oh, there's actually a physical release
Well, I
of
mean,
it. Cool, I might actually buy that.
just released that.
So
They didn't just release it. They just announced a big box set of all 5 Stranger Things seasons, and I'm like, it is cool, but I think at this point, I
yeah,
just don't care anymore.
right. I think like that is really cool. Genuinely, like good for Netflix for doing that. Same thing with like they're releasing all of Voltron, which is like I know that show apparently like torpedoed into dog shit, but I mean, hey, that is 8 seasons. So
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck it was 8 seasons. I don't remember it lasting that long, but 8 seasons it was. Anyway, tell us where we can find you on the internet.
You can find me on this YouTube channel, which is Kobe J. Briscoe. If you look that name up on IMDb, you can find the film projects I've been in. I just shot one called This Is Six. I don't have the release date from that one yet. And you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky under the name Gay Boomhauer, where it's mostly just whatever is on my mind. I'm posting about One Piece. I'm posting about Survivor a bit more because this season's been interesting.
All right. Yeah, you were talking about that a little bit. So
Billie Eilish boomerang over.
right, right. I do love that whenever we get together and talk for a horror hole, there's a new shitty movie that you've started that I've never heard of before. It's just like, it's just always funny to see your continuing career as like the king of Z movies. So
yeah.
I like genuinely like I think that's awesome that you keep on,
it's-
even though I know we won't get into it.
We can talk in a few minutes.
But yes, go ahead, follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at WazBranger, WAZP Ranger. Mostly stream of consciousness stuff, but I post about videos I'm making, podcasts I'm doing. My other thing is Cartoon Buffoons. Me and our friend Morgan going through every Cartoon Network show by show. We took like 4 episodes to do Adventure Time because it's really long, and we just wanted to be very thorough with that show because it's kind of important culturally. And then now we're taking a break from Cartoon Network stuff and doing some indie animation for the month of April, for like April Fools. So yeah, we get to talk about, we decided not to talk about Has Been Hotel or whatever because Morgan doesn't like it. So I have not seen it, so I have no opinion on it. But yeah, excuse me, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff. And if you want to support us on Patreon, it's $3 and you get the episodes a week early. Just got $1, that's fine. Wow, Cool Robot. You can still get that for $1, which is like a 5 to 10 minute podcast. Me and my friend Wayne reviewing every robot in existence. We talk about Wall-E. We talk about the Iron Giant. We talk about the robots from like the Robots movie, like the 2005 animated movie Robots. So, yeah, I'm certainly terrible movie, but whatever. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode. This is a crazy ass movie, so
for sure.
Kind of got off topic a bit. So, but just on topic, it's a good time. Check it out, and then join us next time as we talk about The Exorcist. See you there.
Peace out.